Okie dokie here. I've been playing Shadows of Brimstone since the first Kickstarter delivered, and I've been wrestling with storage problems, like everybody does. One storage problem I had for the map tiles was using an accordion folder, and I put the names of every one of the map tiles, like this one is Neural Pool, and I would put that, I'd try to do them alphabetically, and that just didn't work. Then I ran into these. This is a 12 by 12 paper storage used by crafters. I got a bundle of these at Sam's a year or two back, and they work very well. Keeps your map tiles flat. The next thing was, how do I organize them? Well, you can't necessarily put them all by world because the mines are intermixed with the mines on one side and then the other world on the other side. And then it dawned on me, if there was some way to organize these numerically, it would be easy to sort through them. And that's when I started looking for the Mark It dots. These are little stickers, and I bought these several years ago. This goes up through 240, and as you can see right now, I'm using number 153. So how do I use that? Well, I have to get the card and the map tile and the encounter, if you're playing with advanced encounters, all to have the same number. So in this case, for the Neural Pool, I would take this card, I would put the number up here. Since it's Brain Coral, I would put the number on the card as well, up here in the upper left, so that I can find it easily. And then I would also put the number on the map tile. So to make things match up, since this is the entrance right here, I would put the number on the map tile itself. So whenever we play it, we know automatically where the entrance is. So I'll give you an example. Let's say we pull a card for Forest of the Dead, and I don't have that card with me right now, but let's say it told me to find map tile number 135. The way I organize my map tiles is odd is other world. So an odd number is the other world, and even is Earth. So odd and other world start with O, and even and Earth start with E. Makes it a little bit easier for me to remember. So we come in here, I've got this stack. This starts at 105. So I'm going to do a little bit of digging. And here is number 135. So all of the encounters that are associated with map tiles, I have them in a deck. You can see they're all different kinds. But I store them like this so I can just span through here and I find number 135, the Decay of Time for Forest of the Dead. Whenever I'm done, it just goes right back into the Advanced Encounter deck, and it's ready for the next go-around. So I'll show you what it looks like whenever I set these up, and we'll take care of that right now. Okay, so this is how I use the Mark It dots and how I organize my map tiles. I used to just number them willy-nilly, and then storing them flat, I realized it's probably best if I have a pile of map tiles to go with the largest ones on the bottom. So that way, now that guy slid out. That way, there's less bending and warping. So what you want to do, we get a map tile here. You find the cards for both sides. So this is the Neural Pool and the bathhouse. And then you also want to find both of the advanced encounters. In this case, Blackwater and Brain Coral. So remember, O is odd and is the other world, and even is Earth. So Forbidden Fortress is Earth, Belly of the Beast is the other world. So, so with this one, I'm going to be starting with number 159. And to do this, you're going to need 3 sets of these market dots. I use 2 sets because I employ an iPad app called Card Warden, and I will show you how I use that right after we do this. But to get started, find the card for the neural pool, find the entrance. Yep, that looks like the entrance. So we are going to put number 159 right there. So whenever you pull this tile, you know that's the entrance, and that's how it's oriented on the game. So on the cards themselves, I put the number up here in the upper left-hand corner. That way I can sort through them very easily. So I would take number 159 and I would put it on Brain Coral right here. And then on the map tile, I would put number 159 right up here on the right-hand side. Makes it a little bit easier to find. Some of them I was putting down here on the bottom and I didn't notice it as quickly, so I started putting them in the upper right. So draw a card, number 159. Do I need to know the name of the card here for the encounter? No, I just need to go through my deck and I fish through, fish through, fish through, fish through. Boom, I found number 159. I go through my pile of map tiles, I find 159, and there you go. Now, you'll notice on my map tiles, the numbers are not all sequential. They will be for a little bit, but then there'll be a break. Just because I've got a whole bunch of map tiles, 124 through 130, all set up. So it does kind of jump around. And if you do, and in some cases, like the Hellfire Adventures, they have some map tiles with them, and these came out as well. These cards come out and go into the advanced encounter deck. Now, one downside is doing it this way, you won't run into these encounters randomly. They will be assigned to a specific room. My group likes that. It seems to be a little bit more thematic. And also it's a little bit harder because if you draw an exploration token that has another encounter, you've already got this one, but then you'll have another one that's random. So we enjoy doing it this way. And that's how I handle storing these. I will show you the Card Warden app and how to load the cards into it. Okay, this is Card Warden. It is an app by Michael Azera. He wrote it in 2017. I have been using the heck out of it. It's for storing cards and having a game table that you can pull them from. I use it to store cards for Shadows of Brimstone, and I'll just show you right quick on the game table which decks we have stored. We have stored our low, medium, high, and epic threat cards. We've stored all of our other world threat cards, so we've got 8 decks there. Coming over here, we've got our scavenge, battlefield scavenge, wasteland loot, and loot cards. And then here I've got 5 map decks. And then I've got 5 more map decks. You can see there's 76 cards in this deck. Now it does give you room to play cards. You can drag them and move them. You have little slide out trays where you can put stuff, and it's very handy. But I'm going to show you how I use it to import Shadows of Brimstone cards. So this is the card importer. And one important thing to know is that whenever you import a card, whatever is here is what's going to be on the back of the card. So I learned the hard way that what you want to do is to scan all of your card backs first. So you can see here I've got my loot and have these various other worlds. But then I get into my actual cards, and if I have to find another card back, I've got to go through all of these. Oh, there's my scavenge back. And you can go all the way back. So I've got some new stuff for the belly of the beast. So let's go ahead and scan both of the backs, and then we can scan the fronts, and then I'll show you how to use the numbers. So we're going to capture the card. Sorry, import cards from camera. You can import cards from photos if you want to scan them. I've never played with that, but we're going to import cards from the camera. Of course, sometimes you get some bad glare. So I get down here, try to get rid of the glare. Sometimes you have to catch it at an angle. This is not optimal, but I'm going to zoom in. And take the photo. You want to retake it or use it? I am going to use it. And then I'm going to capture the card. So now what it did was it put the card back right down here. I have 753 cards in this right now. So now I'm going to import another back, and this is the encounters for the belly of the beast. Gonna zoom in, and that's pretty good. And we'll use that photo, and then we're going to capture the card. So now, how do we use this with our market dots? So you could get 3 sets of market dots. I got 2 because I'm kind of a cheapskate. One goes on the map tile itself. And I put one on the card, on the neural pool. And since this is going to be the map deck of Belly of the Beast, I come all the way to the end, and then I go back one. So this is going to be the back of the card, this one that I'm going to scan in. So we're going to import from the camera. That's not that great. I'm going to retake it. Let's see if we can get a different angle. That's pretty good. So we will use that and then we will capture the card. And you can see that the card is listed right down here. So now, me being a cheapskate, I will peel this off, this 159. And this goes on my actual card of the encounters. The encounters I keep separate and use the physical cards. The map cards, I don't have a reason to keep the physical. I do keep the physical copies, but I don't use the physical copies. And I showed you how to take pictures of the two backs. I really did not need this back. So I'll delete that later. But this will go on the bottom of my advanced encounter deck. So there's 159. So you'll see my actual card, there's no number on it, but my virtual card, I have a number. So let's go to the deck editor. And I'm going to make a new deck. It lists all the decks right up here at the top. So I can scroll through all of these. There's way too many of these because I've played around and tried stuff. Okay, so I want to call this the Belly of the Beast map deck. I'll probably call it Belly Map. You punch there, and then you can start typing. So we will go with select all, and we will cut, and we will call it Belly Map. So this is the indicator of where we're going to import the card to. You can pick whatever place you want. But I'm going to go down here, I'm going to go all the way to the end, and I'm going to import that card. And you can see that it put it there. Now some map tiles you have, or even some cards, you have multiples of. You only need to scan them once. If I needed another copy, then I would just hit that again. So I'm going to save the deck. Deck saved. It's now available in the randomizer and the game table. So that's pretty good. So we're going to go to our game table. And I am going to add a deck. And there's the belly map. I'm going to add the deck, and there's the deck. I've got one card in there. Now, if you want to draw a card, I'll show you with one of these decks. If you want to draw a card, you just draw it, and there it is. You can, if you just tap it, you get a really big look at it. You can flip it, rotate it, destroy it, whatever you want. And just to put it back into the deck, you just drag it. If you want to shuffle, you tap it and you get shuffle. So you can just keep shuffling them. I'm going to take this whole deck, drag it down here. I'm going to flip it over. And I'm kind of running out of room, so the Belly of the Beast deck is going to have to go right there. And I will make a deck out of it. If it doesn't have a number on it, it is not a deck. You can see we've got a game in progress. We went to the mining room and then the Boneyard Lake. And we are getting ready to fight the Hellfire Witch with the Caverns of Cinder. So that's a really quick look at how I store my map tiles using market dots, putting the dot physically on the tile. So I've got 159, the odd number on the other world, 160, the even number on the Earth side. And then we have the market dot on the advanced encounter card. And then if you wanted to, you would also put it on the map tile card. I use Card Warden to virtually store all my map and threat cards. So anyway, hopefully that helps out. I will be posting another video on the new method that I store everything in. And so far it's working out. We'll see what happens whenever the third Kickstarter delivers. Thanks a lot for watching.